Very good.
understanding. It's amazing.
I know someone whose name is Berlin, one word, Berlin. All right, so Helene is here and Karen is here. Good. Paula. Okay, and Paula. And I think I saw Marcia. Good. I don't have, Mia Will was scheduled for the class, but she's never shown up. So I'm gonna have to let Julia know. Let's see, it says 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have everybody. Why don't I have, oops, here's the rest. Okay, Salama, good. And Sherry Stein. Okay. And Sherry Lynn, Ruben, and Janice. Good. We have little full house today. That was 12. Let's see if I have everybody now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who am I missing? 11. Brittany said she wasn't in. Oh, Karen. No, I have. Joanne, is Joanne there? I don't have Joanne. And Linda, is Linda in? Linda Reba, not today. And I think that's it. We have 16 in the class and I don't have anybody.
11. 11, you're the 12.
11 here. It says 12. Oh, I'm 12.
You're the
I'm an
12.
idiot. Okay, I'm 12. Okay, so I sent you Kiddush. I got it out of my Siddur Sim Shalom, which is my anchor Siddur. I like that. I can't find things. I know the pages in that one. In Siddur Lev Shalom, I'm lost. I can't find the pages. When I go to synagogue, it's a good thing the rabbi calls the pages. So there's two pieces here. The top part, as I was explaining, is only done at home. Friday night at home. That is not done in synagogue. The Cantor does not read that and sing that. Then where it says Savri Maranan, it's like the introduction, the invitation to bench. Bench is the word in Yiddish. Bench, like bench lich, is to light the candles, if anyone knows Yiddish. And so that's like the invitation. Savri Maranan, Barabotai. Okay, then it starts with the blessing, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. But it starts already with a melody. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Which is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you know. Borei, creator of, borei, pari, the fruit of hagafen, the vine. The fruit of, sounds like men's underwear, the fruit of the loom, but it's the fruit of the vine. Borei pri hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. By the way, that third word in the blessing, the Yud Hey Vav Hey, when you're teaching class, when I was teaching Hebrew school, you never write that on the blackboard, and you never write the 2 Yuds on the blackboard, because that is God's special name. We really don't know how Yud Hey Vav Hey was pronounced. Christians might say Yehovah. You've heard of Jehovah's Witnesses, but we Jews do not pronounce that. Okay, and in Yud Hey, when you say the blessing, you say Baruch Atah Adonai. Don't try to pronounce that because it's said that we really don't know. We don't know how that sounds. Okay, and then Eloheinu, our God, Melech, King, Ha'olam, of the universe. Borei, who takes out, creates, pari, the fruit of the vine. Okay, so that's the introduction. So let's try the melody of that. I'll say a little bit at a time and repeat it after me, okay? Baruch Atah Adonai.
Baruch Atah Adonai.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Borei pari hagafen.
Borei
hagafen. Now we're going to do that line again. I'm going to do it again a little bit at a time, okay, to get going. Baruch Atah Adonai
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Eloheinu melech haolam,
Borei pari hagafen.
Borei
Pari
hagafen.
hagafen. Now we'll do the whole line and then you'll repeat the whole line to the best of your ability after me. So listen to the whole line and then repeat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei pari hagafen. Try it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei pari hagafen.
And as you can see, that's not the whole Kiddush. Otherwise, why are there a whole bunch of lines? So if in the beginning you just want to do that, that's fine. Okay, you don't have to do the top part. That's a little advanced. But if you just do that, and I will send to you because I was looking for a good practice, something you could practice with. And I went on YouTube today. And there's a cantor who has a female cantor who has an outstanding voice. She does it beautifully with the melody and very slow. And her name is Ilana Rosenfeld. And there's another cantor, a male, Michael Weiss. And he does all parts of it. He even does the top part. She doesn't with the Yom HaShishi. Now, one of the things they point out in protocol, they said, even if you just do that one line, they said you take your wine glass and you stand. That the Kiddush, even just the one line or the whole thing, should be done standing. Okay, so if you have guests or you have your family, they should stand when you do the Kiddush. That's out of respect. Then when the one who's reciting it finishes and says, Borei pari hagafen, the person who's reciting the blessing does not say Amen. You don't say Amen to what you said, but everybody else should say Amen. Okay, may it be so. And those are the 2 pointers that they gave, and I will send you their names after we finish. Okay, so then I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. A couple of quick questions.
May I ask a quick question? What does the word Amen really mean? Since you don't
May
say
it be so. Amen means may it be so.
Okay, so that's the same thing when an Aliyah is said reading and the Torah is being read, the person that reads the Torah says Amen.
Yeah. When I start reading the Torah, okay, I'll just tell you about that. If sometimes they give me the Aliyah, let's say tomorrow I'm reading the 5th Aliyah. So if I'm reading the Hebrew, if an Aliyah,
I'm sorry, during class.
what? Okay, so if somebody's speaking,
Mute.
yeah, if you have children or other people, please mute. Okay, so okay, Marcia muted and Francis muted. Okay, so if someone who comes up to me and says, would you like the 5th Aliyah? That means to read the blessing, the 2 blessings, one before the Torah reading and one after. Okay, which starts with Baruch Hu Adonai Haborach, Baruch Adonai Haborach Le'olam. Okay, that's the Torah, the blessing. That's an honor. So if the one who's handing out the honor says to me, would you like the 5th Aliyah? And I go, yes. When I start my Torah reading, I do not say Amen because I've already said the blessing. If tomorrow I'm reading the Hebrew for the 5th Aliyah, the 5th Torah reading, the 5th reading, I'm just reading in Hebrew from the Torah, but I'm not saying the blessings, the Torah blessings. Then I don't say, then I say Amen. Okay, I didn't get the honor, I didn't get the blessings. I'm just reading my part, the 5th Aliyah. Then I go Amen, and then I start reading in Hebrew the fifth reading.
So you're saying amen to the person that said the blessing, to that blessing.
I guess
Not-
so. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. But if I'm doing the blessing, then I have to remember, don't say amen before I start. If I'm not getting the honor, then I just start with amen and I continue reading. Okay, that was a good observation. Okay, so I have a couple of quick questions. Anybody can, now I can see some of you, but I don't think I can see all of you because on my screen is not that big. I'm on an iPad. Okay, anyway, here's a question. You can shout out the answer. What does Shabbat mean?
Sabbath, seventh day.
No, that'd be
Rest.
Yom HaShvi. Rest.
Shab-
Okay, and it would be in the past tense. Rested, or God rested.
Rested.
Rested, Shabbat. Okay. All right. What did God rest from?
Work.
Okay.
Work of
The work
creation.
of creation.
Creation, the work of creation, work. All right. Now in 2021, those who are observing Shabbat, they take the day and they say, it's a vacation day. I'm not working. I don't go to work. I'm not worried about making money today. I'm going to go to shul, or I'm going to be with my family, or I'm going to go out and smell the roses. I'm going to do something that gives me rest, something beautiful, something restful, something very nice. Okay, but I'm not going to work. Okay, so that's to give yourself a break. It's a day to refresh, a day to feel good, get up late, have a nice meal, whatever. All right, third question. And here's this is a thought question. Why does the Kiddush refer to the Sabbath as a gift? Because in the translation, it calls the Sabbath a gift. Why does in the Kaddish, why does it refer to Shabbat as a gift?
Because you're not doing work that day. It's like a vacation, like you just
Yeah.
said.
So, but it's interesting that the English, it says here, praise are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, whose mitzvot and add holiness to our lives, cherishing us through the gift of his holy Shabbat. Okay, so it says it's a gift. That's the translation, which is really nice. Okay. Now, we just finished last week the Parsha Bereishit. And Bereishit, as you know, is the beginning, is the first book of the Torah, right? Bereishit. Well, what does Bereishit mean? Anybody know?
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Okay, does anybody know what the first word of the Torah is?
I mean, the first letter or the first?
The first word.
Oh, first word.
Somebody said it.
Isn't it bereishit?
Bereishit. It's Bereishit. That's the word. The first word of the Torah is Bereishit. And Rosh is the top, it's your head. It's like the head of everything, the beginning. Bereishit. Be means in, Bereishit. Okay, so that's the beginning. Okay, so since last week, and then we just finished with Simchat Torah, we went through the reading of all the 6 days of creation and the Shabbat on the 7th. So I'm going to see if you know what was created, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a quick, I'm going to give you a help. The first day, or, what's or?
Light.
Light. The second day, Shemayim.
The heavens.
Good. Third day, oh, you wouldn't know this one. Yabasha and the Yamim. The Yam. The dry land and the seas. Yabasha and Yamim. Okay. And seed-bearing plants so that we could have vegetation and trees. Okay. The fourth day, Hashemesh, Hayareach, and Hakochavim. The sun, Hashemesh, the sun, Hayareach, the moon, and Hakochavim. The Hakochavim balayla, Shavuato, Shavuot, and that's the Kochavim, the stars. The fifth day, sea life, life from the ocean, and the birds, and my name is Sipora, bird. The sixth day, mammals and Adam. Who is Adam?
Adam.
Adam.
Adam, okay. So now, and then the seventh day is Shabbat, the rest. But I have to give you, I saw this little thing I wanted to just quickly share with you. There's a midrash. I thought this was really interesting. The midrash says in Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27, it says, he created God. God created him, male and female. Here's the midrash. This is interesting. God created a pair of twins attached to each other. God divided them and commanded them to find the person to make them complete again. Isn't that interesting? So it says he created male and female. So the midrash says they were connected. Male and female. Doesn't
What's
say he
interesting
created-
is, how can they find the person when there's only the two of them on earth?
Well, that's a
Yeah.
problem. That's a problem. But that's a midrash. It's not science. It's a midrash. But about finding your completion, your partner in life, whoever
Sure.
completes you, which is very
The
nice.
shirt.
When
Yeah, but
My-
it doesn't say, Sherry.
my grandchildren are twins, one of each. And when we did our grandson's Brit, our granddaughter's naming, that's what the rabbi said, that they complete each other.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. And it goes, it's this, he was thinking of this midrash most likely. When we had two boys, Aaron and Joshua, biblical names. And then we had a girl. Well, of course we had a moil, we had a Brit Milah for the boys. Absolutely. We said, it's not fair. Sherry, you'll like this. It's not fair that the girl gets done out. How come they have a party, then they get gifts and all the rest, they have a bris. And the girl, what is she, chopped liver? So we sent out an invitation for a pink party. We created this, a pink party for the first girl. We have two girls. And this is what we wrote, cancel the moil, it's a goyal.
Cute.
And we did it, when the second girl was born, we said, she also has to be recognized. So we wrote pink party 2, number 2, and the same thing. So we gave them their dues. So the girls were not left out of anything. Okay, so it's interesting that there's a connection now with the Kiddush and Bereishit and the first Parsha. Why am I saying that? Because actually the Kiddush, and I had it comes from the first Parsha. It comes from Bereishit. It comes from chapter 2, verses 1, 2, and 3. If you look up chapter 2, Linda is here. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. No, we really have a dirty dozen. Okay. So if you look at chapter 2, if you have a Bible at home, chapter 2, in the first Parsha, in Bereishit, verses 1, 2, and 3, there's the Kiddush. There it is, word for word. That's the whole thing we're going to learn, right? So that's the connection. The Kiddush, because it talks about creation in the Kiddush, and it talks about resting, and it's right there from the Torah. That's the source. In case you didn't know, now you know. Okay. So another interesting thing is that from the first segment that's done at home, and the second part, the Kiddush that's done in the synagogue, I find this interesting. 7 times is the root Kodesh mentioned. I just find that's very interesting. 7 times you'll see the root Kodesh, Kuf Dalet Shin. Just an interesting thing.
What does
okay?
Kodesh mean?
Holy.
Holy. Thank you.
Or sanctify, holy. So it either says in the translations, makes holy, made holy, or sanctified. This is exactly the same thing. Okay. So I just found that was very interesting, 7 times. Okay, let's get on with the actual reading. So whether you have what I sent you or you have your Siddur out, I advise you to use, when we're doing things from the prayer book, whatever is interesting. Whatever is most convenient. If you find that you rather learn straight from your prayer book so that you're comfortable with the layout, and then you can use that in your synagogue, then you should do that, right? if you want to use what I send, I'm sending something that's from my prayer book, or in some cases, in this case, it also was in your packet from Shalom Aleichem, the book you got last semester. I think it was like page 45 in that. You can use that too. And sometimes I'll send something from the packet. Okay. So we went through the first line, and then it says, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. It repeats, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. So the beginning is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen, and then it repeats Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho b'yachava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereishit ki hu yom tehila lamikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta liotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Shabbat. That's the whole thing. Now, I don't expect you to learn that today in one sitting. So I will refer you, and I'll send you today to the female and the male cantor, and you can play that as many times as you want. And they're excellent. She especially is wonderful and has a gorgeous, gorgeous voice and goes slowly. But let's work on the words. Let's work on the reading, okay? So we have about half an hour to work on the reading. So the first line we did. The second line is repeat, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And then there's like a comma, right? So then repeat after me. Asher
Asher
Kiddushanu
Kiddushanu
b'mitzvotav.
b'mitzvotav
Next line. V'ratzah
v'ratzah
vanu.
vanu
V'shabbat
Shabbat.
kodesho
kodesho
be'ahava
b'ahava
uvratzon
uvratzon
inchilanu.
Anu. Say that again.
Let's break it into syllables. Hin,
He.
ki,
Okay.
lanu.
May I ask a question? This may have been
Absolutely.
covered in the first session, which I did not
That's okay.
take.
That's okay.
The little Hebrew that I know, I think I told you, I taught myself. I never have had lessons. So
Okay.
I've never understood with those two little dots. I don't know what the
Okay,
those
the two
things are
little
even
dots,
called, whether
it's
you
called a
pronounce
shva.
it or you don't. You know how.
Okay. It's a good question. We grappled with that last semester in my class last year for over a year. So there's a sounded shva and there's a
Shva.
silent one.
Uh-huh.
That shva is the two vertical dots. So you have hin. If it's at the end of the syllable, which this is hin, chi, lanu, it's silent. If it's not
Okay.
at the end of the syllable, you have to sound like it. This one is hin, chilanu, hin, chilanu. There is no break. But like the shabbat, kodsho, that not there either. Here, the word before that, be'ahava. So it's like the I in if. Be, okay, at the beginning of a word, if you see that two dots of shvat, you have to pronounce it. Be. Be'ahava. Be'ahava. Uv, And there it's the end of the syllable. Ratzon, hin chilanu. Kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hin chilanu. Now there's grammatical rules for that, and frankly, I don't even know all the rules for that. But you hear it. You hear these prayers a lot, so listen. My advice is listen to the cantors and don't bother yourself with all the rules. Learn the prayer the way you hear it, the way you hear it recited, the way the cantor sings it, the way you hear it on YouTube, with professionals. And it'll come to you. But if you start with, is this a short vowel or a long vowel, you'll make yourself totally nuts. Okay, but it's an excellent question. Okay, so then it says zikaron.
Zikaron.
Okay, the next line. Now see, this is the beginning of the syllable lema aseh. Lema aseh. Bereishit.
Bereishit.
So you have the lamed with the two dots. That's a shvat. Lema aseh bereishit. Lema aseh bereishit. Now, when you see a little diamond, you'll see that when you're studying Torah in the Tikkun. That means it's the end of the verse, or the end of the sentence, or the end of the phrase. Ki hu yom. And here it is again. The very first letter takes the shva. It's a sounded one. Tehila. Yom tehila. Okay. Le mik, that's the end of the syllable. So you have le mik ra'eh. Le mik ra'eh. Kodesh. Zecher. Zecher means in remembrance of. Litziat. Mitzrayim. Anybody know what Mitzrayim is?
Well, it stands for Egypt, right? But it means
Egypt, right.
constraint.
Now, Helene, you see the word Mitzrayim?
Yes.
That man with Utsadi, that's the syllable, mitz. It's not mitzah, it's mitz.
Right.
Mitzrayim. So at the end of a syllable, that shva it's silent.
Thank you.
It's called a shva nach.
Okay.
Nach means quiet, it's resting. He's not doing anything. Mitzrayim.
Okay.
Good. Kivanu. Vacharta. Again, here's another silent shva. Look, va.
Yes.
That's one syllable. Char. Ta. Va. Charta. All you heard was the resh. Vacharta.
Okay.
Ve. That's a silent shva. Ve. Otanu. Ve otanu. Kidashta. Boy, you must have known there were a lot of silent
There
shvas in
certainly
this,
are.
right? And it
But
goes
what you said is
kidash.
very, very helpful. I never understood that before.
Okay, here is the end of the syllable. Look, kidash ta. Kidash, it's not kidashata, it's kidash ta. Okay? Kidashta. Kidashta. Mikol. Okay, now I'm surprised you're not asking a question here, because here you're going to see there's a T, there's a kamatz under the kaf. The thing is, it's funny looking. It's like not totally connected. When you see that, it means that word is an exception, and that under that vowel is pronounced or, like the Ashkenazim pronounce all that like or. In modern Hebrew, like they wouldn't say Shabbat, they would say Shabbat. So that's me call. This is an exception when you see that funny little thing.
It's so small, it's hard for me to even tell there's a space there. So I think,
Okay.
maybe that's why this is a
Mikol.
question.
Mikol ha'amim.
Amen.
So it's not Mikal. That is an exception. It's Mikol. It's got that funny little incomplete little T under it. It's Mikol. And most combinations of the word all, call, Mikol, from all. Ha'amim, ha'amim.
I mean,
Right, and so now they're telling us we're different. Mikol ha'amim, like Am Yisrael Chai. We're different from all the nations because we have Shabbat. There's Shabbat,
Shabbat.
Kod Shecha. That's
Kod
Kod
Shecha.
Shecha. Kod. Okay, here we have a great word. We have that funny little incomplete vowel under the kuf. It's Kod. Kod, and that's a silent shva, kod, and then we have another one. We have a sounded one. Here's the rule. If you have two letters together, you have the dalet and the shin. They both have a shva under it. It's like twins that are fighting. You have to separate them. So the first one is not sounded, kod, and the other one is sounded. Shecha, kod, shecha. You separate those battling twins. Kod, shecha. Perfect. Kod shecha. So the first one is silent. Kod. The second guy is a noisy one. We got two twins. One's a quiet one and one's a hellion.
Is it always like that? The first one is the one that's
Yes.
silent. The
Yes.
second one. Okay.
Yes. Kod
Kod
shecha.
Shecha.
Be ahava.
Ahava.
And here's another silent one. Uv ratzon.
Uv Ratzon.
Ratzon. We don't say uve ratzon. Uv. It's just the end of the syllable. Uv ratzon.
Uv Ratzon.
Hin chal tanu. Hin
Chal
chal
Tanu.
tanu. So again, it's a silent one. Here are the syllables. Hin chal tanu. Two silent shvas. The first syllable.
Tanu,
Hin. Second syllable. Chal tanu. Hin chal tanu. This is really chock full of shvas. This is like shva city. Okay, then it's back to what we know. Baruch atah Adonai. And then we have another shva. Me kadesh. Hashabbat. Okay, so that's, you're just really hearing the mem, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Okay. So I had a question. I said that in the top part here, which is recited just on Friday night, which you can see that online. I'd like to really to practice with the main chunk, which is recited at home, okay, and in synagogue too, so you'll be able to follow it. We're gonna play a little game. And everyone's gonna play at the same time. I guess I like to create chaos. So, all right, so in the top part that's only recited at home, there is once where there's a word with the root of Kodesh, and that's Vayikadesh. But so there's 6 times in the second paragraph, the big one, where there are words with the root Kodesh, 6 times. So Yeshli, we used to play in Hebrew school. When you hear that word, I'm going to recite this paragraph. I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to sing it. I want you to track it with your little finger. I want you to put your finger on all the words. And I want you to say, and everybody should be saying it at the same time. It's like bingo. Yeshli. It means I have it. So let's practice saying that. Yeshli. Yeshli. There's a song. Yesh. Well, Yesh lanu tais. Okay, but that's about a goat. And anyway, this is not about a goat. Yeshli. Yeshli means I have it. Okay, like you're raising. I got it. Yeshli. So I want you to yell out Yeshli when I say a word that has the root. It's a word that has the root Kodesh in it. It's not.
Could you say
Kodesh.
where you are again? You said you were going back up at the top paragraph.
No, I'm doing the second paragraph.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
The
second
big one.
paragraph.
Yeah, and in this second paragraph, in the one in the top, there's one word that has the root Kodesh, but in the big one, there are 6 different words that are built on the root Kodesh with Kuf, Dalet, and Shin. All right, it's not the word Kodesh, but you're gonna recognize those three letters. They always have to be in 1, 2, 3 order. The Kuf has to be in the first slot, the Dalet has to be in the second position, and the Shin has to be third. If they are in that position, the Kuf, Dalet, and Shin, that's the root Kodesh, which means holy. Okay, and this whole paragraph is about holiness. Okay, when I say the word that has that root in it, you say Yeshli, and I'll stop. And see.
A what?
You got it?
Can you repeat the word we have to say? Yeshli?
Yeshli.
Yeshli. Yesh
Yeshli.
means I have.
Yeshli. What does that mean?
Yeah, it means I got it.
I got it.
Yeshli, I have it. Okay, that's like virtually lifting your arm and raising your hand. Yeshli, you can
Wow.
write it down. You have a pencil. Yeshli, it means I have it. All right, when you're finished with me, you're going to know Yiddish, you're going to know Hebrew. All right, here we go. I'm going to read it, and I'll read slowly. When you hear a word that has the Kodesh root in it, you say Yeshli. We all on board?
Yeah.
Mez. Okay, good. Maybe 50-50. Okay, we got it. I'll start from the beginning. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu.
Yeshli.
Yay, that's number 1. You got it. I'm going to check you up. 1 point for the team. B'mitzvotav v'ratza vanu v'shabbat kodsho.
Yeshli.
Number 2. All right, you got it, Kodsho. Excellent. Where am I? V'shabbat. Okay. The ahava uvratzon hin chilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereishit. Ki. Who? No.
No.
No, Yeshli. Bereishit is beginning. Ki hu yom techila lemikra a kodesh.
Yeshli.
There you go. Kodesh. We got Kodesh. Very good. We got Kodesh. Zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta.
Yeshli.
Next one is
We
Keshli.
got it. Kidashta. Mikol ha'amim. V'shabbat kodeshecha.
Yeshli.
Yay. We got one more to find. Ba'ahava uvratzon hin chaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh.
Yeshli.
That's it. HaShabbat. Okay, what makes God whole. All right, now, let's try a little bit of reading some individuals. Okay, we did it a few times. You won't learn it after 1 or 2 times. You'll need a lot of practice on this because it's a gazinta piece. It's a big enough piece, okay? But there are a lot of friends in this paragraph. There are a lot of words that you know, like Adonai and Shabbat, and words with the root Kodesh, and words repeat. So we're going to really take this as for mastery. I really want you to learn the Kiddush. Even if you don't do it with a melody, if you just read it, that would be a tremendous achievement. Okay, and you should be proud of yourselves. If you could recite the Kiddush Friday night, that's fantastic. And you'll be able to follow if you go to shul Friday night. I'm not a Friday nighter. I'm always there. I'm there every Shabbat. I like the Torah reading and I like the rabbi's speech and I like that. So I just have a nice meal and I do the service that I taught you last week at home. We do the wine, we do that, wash the hands, we have the blessings for the children. Okay, we do all that, the bread, the challah. But I don't normally go to shul Friday night. I love Shabbat morning. That's my thing. Anyway, this is really a very wonderful achievement if you can do this. So let's try it. Who would like to read the first line? Okay.
I will.
All right, Sherry Stein.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sorry. Bore Pri Hagafen.
Great. The next line, we have a taker for the next line. Okay, Helene.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav.
Great,
Baritz,
perfect.
Oh,
Okay, that was beautiful.
Mitzvah.
That was beautiful.
okay.
Mitzvah. So again, what I said last week is the translation of mitzvah, mitzvot, it means commandments. And Hebrew is built not only on roots, but on prefixes and suffixes. It's like a kite tails. There's stuff that add on the front, and then there's a root in the middle, and then there's stuff that's kite tails on the end. So we have be means in or with, mitzvot is commandments, and the ending of means his commandments, the mitzvotav. Okay, third line with the ratzah. Do we have a taker? Do we have a taker? I'm gonna make a taker. How about Cheryl? Is Cheryl there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. All right.
Can you do the third line?
Okay. Veratsa banu shabbat kadoshu
Could show. That's
could
one of
show.
those funny ones.
could show.
Could
Okay.
show. It's or.
show.
Okay.
Vahata.
All right. So you got the b. Now that's an aleph. It's silent. So you're only going to say what's underneath it. Be.
Beha.
Be'ah. Underneath this, you have a bet, and then you have an aleph, and you have the ah
Mhm.
under it. So it's be'ah. That's
Be'a.
syllable.
Be'a. Ta.
Ha. You know how I used to teach this to the kids? It's like the convertible letter. Hey, it's open. See, there's a little opening there.
Uh-huh.
It's a hey. Hey, it's open. It's got a little
Oh, okay.
roof there. It's the open air letter.
Be'aha. I guess I'm looking at the third to the last letter. If that's a T or a,
It's a hey.
I see the hay. What's between the two hays?
Oh, a vet. A vet.
Okay. I didn't,
Vet.
okay.
Okay, so where the one that has the opening is the hey. Hey, it's open.
Baha. Yep.
Be'ah.
Baha.
Say the whole word.
Bahavaha.
Be.
Be.
Be. Ah. Ha. Va.
Be'ahava. Be.
Okay, say it again.
Ahava. Be'ahava.
Be'ahava. Right. Ahava is love. Be'ahava. With love. Lovingly. Isn't that nice?
Yep.
Be'ahava.
Yep.
Okay. Who knows what happens when you have a hey at the end of the hey at the end of the word? How do you pronounce it? Marcia.
Don't.
Marcia, you're silenced. You're muted. You're muted. Oh, she's
Doesn't hear you.
muted.
She can't turn it off.
Sorry. A hey at the end of the word.
Yep.
With an H
Ah.
sound. Sounds like an
How do
H.
you pronounce it?
Ah,
How do you pronounce a hey at the end of a word?
ah,
Ah,
ah.
ah.
It's silent.
Oh, silent. Oh,
No
okay.
sound. It's silent. Hey at the
Okay.
end of a word is silent. So this word is be, ah, ha, va.
Va.
In the middle of a word or in the beginning, you get an H sound. Be, ahava. Okay. What's next?
Uv retzon.
Ratzon.
Ha nu.
What's the dot? How do you pronounce the dot?
I'm not
Okay.
sure. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. There's three
Mm.
dots. If the dot is on the top and I'm pressing down on your head, you go, oh, my head. Oh.
Yeah.
If it's in the middle and I punch you in the stomach, if the
Ooh.
dot is in the
Is
middle,
an ooh.
ooh,
Mhm.
ooh. And if it's by your feet underneath, like it's under the hay, a mouse.
E, okay.
O-O-E. This is underneath the letter. It's the vowel is called a chirik, always pronounced E. The hay and the E. He. Got it? He.
He Milanu.
Right. That's a hay and then a nun and then a chet. Chet, the gargle letter. Hin, he,
Hin
lanu.
Hilanu. Sa.
And one more word.
Si Baru? No. Si Baru.
Z. Z.
Z.
Z. Oh, you
Z.
make me crazy. It's a Zion. Z. Z. Zion.
Oh, Z. I'm sorry. Z.
Z.
Baruch.
Well, it's rounded like the cup. It's rounded. Cup is your palm. Z. Ka. You have to look at it
Z.
carefully. Z.
Ka.
Ka.
Okay. Z. Karu. Karu.
Karon. Okay, the vav with the dot, that's O. O in my
Karon.
head. Z, a vav with a
O.
dot. Z.
Karon.
Ka. Ron. Z. Karon. So
Karon.
let me say it. I want you to, everybody to put your finger on this as I say it and say it to yourself. Beratza vanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratson hin chilanu zikaron.
Zikaron.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Karen, do you want to read? No, she said no. Paula, would you like to read a line? I'll help you.
My eyes are acting up and I can't see the letters. I'll read.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't see the vowels.
All right. Sherry Lynn,
Okay,
you want to try it?
I'll try
I'll
it.
help.
Say
Good.
the bereishit.
Very good.
I'm having problems with the line. Okay, it's key.
Don't prompt her, people.
He who yom
Good.
tehillah
Excellent.
le ra.
What's the second letter? You have a lamed? It's a mem.
Lemi
That's a kuf. Lamik.
ra a
Nice.
kadesh
That on the head. If I pounded your head with my hand.
Kodesh.
Oh, Kodesh.
zecher.
Nice job. Very nice. Very nice job. Janice, would you like to do a line?
Litziat,
Good.
Mitram, Ki,
Wait. What's the word for Egypt?
Mitz, I don't know what the last
Mitzrayim.
letter is.
It's a final mem.
Oh, Mitzram.
Mitzrayim.
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 Oh, okay.
Mitzrayim.
Thank you.
Litziat
Kibanu.
Mitzrayim. Good.
Kibanu.
That's a vet. It has a sound.
A bit.
Va.
Okay. Bacharita.
Okay, but it's the end of the syllable and it's silent. Va. Har. Ta.
Bacharta.
Good.
Be'otanu.
Nice.
Kidashta. Mikol.
Good. Mhm.
Amim.
Bravo. She said Mikol. Nicole. Nice job. Next line. Beryl, which rhymes with Cheryl.
The
And also
Shabbat.
Meryl.
The Shabbat.
Wait. Good.
Kodsha.
Nice. No. Kod Shecha. Perfect.
Ba'ahava.
Mm-hmm.
Uvratzon. Hinhaltanu.
Whoa. Take it slowly. You've got the express train there. Syllables,
Huh.
always syllables.
No.
In, how,
Tanu.
Tanu.
See that? Now, if you rush it, you get the wrong thing. But if you take your time, if it's a big word and it's scary, then just break it up. Hin, chal, tanu. Hin, chal, tanu. Okay? Hin, chal, tanu. That's what I do. When I'm studying for Torah reading and there's a big long word and I start getting crazy, I break it up into syllables and I repeat it by syllables. And that works. Okay, finish it up.
Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Rashi says, Adonai. Are you from Brooklyn?
Yes, sorry. And this is something I
Okay.
learned years and years ago in
Of
Brooklyn
course,
as a young
of
child.
course. Of course, and it's gonna stay with you forever, even when you get old. Gonna
So is
stay
it
with
really
you.
Adonai
forever.
or is it Adonai?
Well, now what they say is Baruch atah Adonai.
Okay.
If you say Adonai, it's the same deity. It doesn't
More the
change who we're talking
Ashkenazi
about.
and Sephardic.
That's Ashkenaz, right? We're learning Sephardic Hebrew, but
My
I had a guy who,
My husband was sitting with me when I got your email and I started looking at the words and he's reading them and he still pronounces everything Ashkenazi. And I
course.
keep telling him, no, there's no more S, in any word. And if we get an Aliyah even, and we're doing the brachas, he's
It
doing
doesn't change.
Ashkenazi and I'm doing it.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's the same words. It doesn't
Yes.
matter the accent, right?
Right.
If you're speaking English and you're from South Africa, or you're from Boston, like my husband, or you're from the Bronx, like me, it's still the same language, and the accent does not change the content, and it's fine. And if he has an Aliyah and he does that, it's the same honor. He doesn't lose points. It's very good. So you did very well. I will send you 2 people to look at online and practice
has
this.
a-
Will Yes,
Helene.
Helene.
How do you say thank you in Hebrew?
Toda rabba.
Rabba.
Todah.
Rabba. The toda is thank you. Rabba is
Yeshli.
thanks.
Todah rabba yeshli. I'm learning.
Well,
I just,
Now,
I
if I
knew
wanna
there were,
say-
I've heard that
oh.
before, but with my brain fog since I've had COVID, I just don't retain.
no, and then
things. And I
someone
knew
is
that,
very
but I couldn't
polite.
remember it. But now I
Right,
know
toda rabba,
Yeshli.
and-
Hopefully it'll stick.
and
Thank you.
toda
Oh,
rabba. And
toda
also,
rabba.
if this person is fancy, very elegant, eleganti, they'll say allo davar. It's nothing. It's like in French, if you know
De
merci, and then they say de rien. Okay, thank you. It's nothing. In Spanish, gracias
De
de
nada.
nada. Oh,
Right,
nothing, de nada. Okay.
right.
So that's being very a very self-effacing, oh, it's my pleasure. It's nothing. All right. I had my next door neighbor came when we had a couple of feet of snow here in New York, and he used his snow plow so that we could get out of the house and we could, the car. And I said, who is my angel? And he lifts up his big sweater thing on his face and he says, it's me, your next door neighbor. And I called him my angel, and I said, oh, thank you so much. Oh, it's nothing. Okay, it was a big thing. I don't want to die shoveling. So, all right, so you're going to practice this and we're going to go over it again. I would like you also to practice Adon Olam. I think Ein Keloheno, you're good. I think Shalom Aleichem, you're good. But Adon Olam has a lot of unused words, and they're not common words. So I'd like to go over that again, the first couple of minutes of class next week. So practice Adon Olam, practice the Kiddush, and then I'll teach you the top part. And then we'll start on some of the Friday night Psalms. Anybody have any requests like Lachad Dodi or Havul Adonai?
Yes.
Oh, I got a lot of them.
Work on the.
And what's the one that, there's a lot of ones that I,
Romamu,
Adonai Eloheinu, v'yishtachavu, da, 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 dee, 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 da, 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 da. Okay, so we'll do some of those little ones that are nice with the melodies and have a little fun with it. All right, and
I have two
doing very well.
Thank you,
Carol.
Carol, it's Marcia. I won't be here next Friday. I'm going away next week. So, but
Okay.
I'll see you the following
You know,
Friday.
I will send any work that I send you, any vocabulary, any prayers, I will send it whether you're here or not.
Please
And I
send it,
expect
yes,
you to study it.
yes.
And so you'll have a dossier, you'll have all that we do, nothing will be missing, and it'll be in order. So you can see right now, my logic is, I started with the Friday night blessings and Shalom Aleichem, and moving on to the Kiddush at home and in the synagogue. And then we'll move on to some of the Psalms from Friday night in the synagogue. Okay, so we'll do a
Carol?
whole unit on that. Very nice. Yes.
Is there any way you can make sure we can get it by Thursday night? I'm gonna be at my son's for almost the next month.
Yes.
And
Yes.
to get to his printer to print this out, I need to know the night before, because then he.
Okay,
works.
I will try to get it by Wednesday. Right now I'm back to work and I'm teaching in the library Thursday night, a class, an ESL class, and then I have a lot of, Torah readings and stuff, but I'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get it
take
down,
my
yeah.
my Sim Shalom, my prayer book with me, just so that if it's a prayer, I have it written. But if you give like us a listing of vocabulary words, those I won't be able to actually have
Right.
in front of me during class. Because.
All right, and I'll try to give you the vowels.
Thank you. I
Hey,
appreciate
you guys are working really hard. You're doing a great
Carol,
job.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we to do the Amidah?
Well, the Amidah, I'll tell you, we have a curriculum that some of the Hebrew teachers and I created. A lot of it is a Friday night service. This class ends, I think, in January or February, so we might do some little bit of Purim but anyway, they do have a lot of things like Hatikva, and there's a lot of pieces that they want us to cover. So the Amidah, realize, is really 19 blessings. It's not 18, there's 19. So there's a lot of Hebrew. And when we get to it, I'll tell you something about the Amidah and the way I feel about a few of those blessings, which have to do with sacrifice and the return of the temple days, with all those bloody sacrifices. And we would probably have another holy war, a jihad, if it ever happened that we restored the temple and the sacrifices. And I'm not kidding. So when I do the Amidah, I skip those. Okay. It's not heresy. It's just common sense. I mean, I can't say those because I don't mean them. Okay, I don't want a return to temple days with meat sacrifices. If you read in the Torah how many sheep, how many oxen, how many goats, how many birds were sacrificed, just take a look at Sukkot and every day how many of those animals. I love animals, and that turns my stomach. The idea of and all that blood from animals on the, and I'm not a vegetarian, but I can't. There are a couple of those brachot in the Amidah. I can't say it.
I
So-
thought that when
Telling
they
you the truth.
sacrificed, it was just like eating your food for Shabbat. It's just the meal. I thought that's what that was.
I think of like the
If you
Incas.
think of how many,
and the
if you think of
Aztecs
how
and
many
blood.
of the animals was people came and they sacrificed. It tells you how many is so many animals being sacrificed. Okay, so I mean, when I think of it and I try to visualize it, it's very painful. I can't. So I skip a few of them.
What about
I mean, what?
Ashrei?
Oh, why
Oh
does
my
everybody
gosh.
insist on Ashrei?
Because it's the hardest one.
Your time could be spent much more profitably. You could learn much more Hebrew and many more psalms and parts of the service than fussing over Ashrei. I know the class that I had them for from September, and I had them in the spring, and then I offered them a special class. We continued as a class in the summer because we just didn't want to part. We had a wonderful chavora, and we continued, and they kept hacking me with Ashrei. And so I started going over Ashrei a little bit with them. I mean, they couldn't get all these words ending in cha, aromimcha. At Ashrei, it's really not that hard when you look at it, but everybody is afraid of Ashrei. One of the students said,
in my
"Horrific sin."
synagogue, when the reader, whoever is called on to read it and does that first part, I can follow that pretty well, but then the cantor goes, blah, 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 blah. And that's when everybody answers back, and I can never do that.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like one of those
it's
things we want
divided.
to be able to do it, I guess.
The stroke, the line of verse is divided. The first part is echoed by the second part. Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha. And the second, oh, Hallelujah, Selah. They both, in every line of Ashrei, the first part is echoed in the second part as far as the meaning. It's like synonyms. It's synonymous. So that's as far as the meaning. And there's a lot of words that end in cha. Don't be afraid of Ashrei, but I would have to spend a couple of hours with you on Ashrei. And I would rather teach you a lot more that you're going to have in the services. Okay.
The four of us from Rachel's class, we did it week on and week.
In our first class, we did Ashrei, we did Lahadodi, but Lahadodi has so many sections.
And it also has different melodies. Lechadodi, or Lechadodi, Lekrat Shabbat. And there's a lot of melodies.
I have to leave.
You're wasting your time with Ashrei when I can teach you so many more beautiful songs and prayers, and you could learn so much more Hebrew. That if you want Ashrei, it's going to take a few weeks. It's going to take a couple
I think
hours,
you're
and I
the
don't feel
teacher, and we should go by what you're the knowledgeable one. So
if you tie me to my chair, I'll teach it to you. Fortunately, you're not in my house. Don't fret about Ashrei. Let the cantor do his job. You pay him a lot of money. Let the cantor and the rabbi sing it, and you just put your little finger there, and you're, oh yeah, I'm following you. Very good, Ashrei. There we go. Finished. Yeah, done. Gamarnu, we finished. All right, let him earn his keep.
Everybody, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Ladies, have a
Bye.
wonderful Shabbat wherever you are.
Thank you.
And tonight, try the blessings. Try the blessings on the challah and the wine and the dogs and the cats and your kids. Try it.
Okay, thank
Nobody's
you very
there to
much.
say
Shabbat
no.
shalom.